Recording is on.
Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly gathering DXdao for July 8th, 2021, starting at 1500 UTC. This is the recaps version. I think we may be seeing a little bit of what in real life summer work happenings happen in the world where people do start to travel more, and there's a bunch of conflicts, and some people are getting COVID vaccines and things like that. So we are going to piece through this agenda, have appropriate updates where possible. If there are any outstanding questions and things, there's always the open chat channels in Keybase and Discord for further discussions if people have any follow-up questions and things. But we'll kick this off. We usually start with the products and then go through the rest of the squads for DXdao. And so we'll kick things off with Omen. Violet, if you would like to give a brief update on what's happening in the Omen world, that'd be great.
Yeah. So we're mostly working on refactoring our code base. So we took code freeze and we are just reusing a bunch of stuff that we haven't used and deleting lots of unused stuff. Also, Kaden is working on implementing a new version of updating some stuff for the FPM fixed product market maker contract in the front end, because with the new fee introduced, it caused some issues with selling function. And yeah, we're also refactoring our CPK service. Basically, we are making like Lego blocks, so you can make creating of transactions more like modular. It's very interesting. Like Hexel did that, and yeah, a bunch of stuff related to basically aligning our front end with Figma, and our new developer Francesco is working on that. Yeah, and I'm just working on some of new formatting functions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Great, thanks, Violet. And like Omen itself, there's been some interesting activity the last couple weeks. There's a lot of markets. Well, there's the markets that exist from the Omen markets competition, which are tie in with a bunch of different projects in the space that those communities might like. There's been all of the Euro 2020 football matches that have the ability to predict on those. There's actually now a Copa America finals match, which is between Brazil and Argentina, that's live on Omen. And so, yeah, it's a decent focus on sports recently, but there's obviously crypto markets as well. And it's a permissionless system. Anyone can create any markets that they'd like to see on there. So some exciting, a lot of excitement leading up into the Euro Cup final as well. So next we will move to Aqua, which used to be called something else. And Ross, if you'd like to give an update on the happenings in Aqua World.
Yeah, sure. So obviously, I'm sure most people know there's been some issues with project management. Martin, most recent development has been that he is no longer a project manager on Aqua. So there's been some slight reshuffling in the team, but generally we've been kind of governing ourselves, and all the devs on the team have done a pretty good job of adapting to that. John's been helping us out also. We also have a new joiner, Daniel from I've forgotten the name of the company, something Inch.
Space Inch.
Space Inch, yeah. So he's helping us full time currently with the focus on the smart contracts, taking over ownership from Nico since he's reducing his hours. So yeah, some slight redefining of the sort of short term goals in Aqua, but hopefully we should be pretty close to releasing the fixed price sale in a stable environment, and then from there we'll be focusing more on the auction.
Just wondering, so Martin is not working as of now. What's going on?
Yeah, he gave an update today in the DAO Talk post, sort of explaining his thoughts on things. I don't know if it's final or not, but he seems to have decided to not work for the current time. So
Oh,
it's possible it could help in the future, but for now, I think he's sort of leaving the DAO, as far as I can tell. But yeah, we'll see if anything else comes out of that.
Thanks, Ross. So just to reiterate, though, that the idea of a token generation / token issuance platform that DXdAO's products have been, historically we've had tools that many projects have used for that specific scenario, and we've obviously seen that type of product become more and more popular in the space, and it seems like a key tool that is like core to the ecosystem, right? Like that's one of the powerful things about Ethereum in general and blockchains is anyone can create and launch tokens for whatever economic or social reasons that they see. And so I think DXdao still sees that tool and Aqua being a platform where there's a set of tools that allow projects to, in a pretty permissionless way, have the ability to issue and sell a token is a pretty important key element of our ecosystem. It ties in really well with all of the products that DXdao has. And so though we've had some delays and some changes and things, DXdao still has a focus on achieving this product and this platform, and using it and tying it into everything we do. And so hopefully we'll make progress on that and have some the ability to test and use it rather soon. And so yeah, DXdao is still that's still an important key product for DXdao and its ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely. I think capital formation is a core part of crypto and will continue to be for a very long time. We saw that with Ethereum in 2017. DXdao saw it in 2020 with Mesa and some of the bigger projects like DMG, which no longer exists, had a pretty big sale. They were one of the first, all the way through to API 3 raising over $10 million on Mesa, which is the old name for Aqua. And well, Aqua is really a new product, so it evolved out of that use case and that product market fit that we saw with the with Mesa, and Aqua is kind of like the plan to take on that market in a more serious way over the long term. So yeah, I think the vision is still completely intact, and it's a really valuable piece for DXdao.
Great. Next product squad in line is Swapper. Would you like to give an update on Swapper?
Yeah. So let's just a question. So what's the difference of the update we usually do on Tuesdays versus now, just to get things straight here?
Yeah, this is just a recap of, so if this is the one call that like DXdao community member or DXD holder maybe that watches one thing per every 2 weeks to see like, what's going on in DXDAO's world. Hearing about what's been going on with Swapper the last couple weeks would be like what we would want to communicate basically. And so there's a lot of different exciting things happening. And like, obviously, if you want to dive deep into Swapper, you can come dive deeper. But this is a kind of an overview of what's happened the last couple of weeks since 2 Thursdays ago, I guess.
And Tuesday is definitely a more technical oriented call, and this is oriented towards the entire community.
Okay, that's good. Then we obviously released Swapper Beta V1, and that included farming. We did campaigns that came from DXdao, and we saw also community campaigns farming on Swapper Beta, and all was successful. We had some smaller bugs regarding us not showing the correct amount of APY. We actually had higher APYs than showing in the UI. So we started working on a bug fix slash beta v2 release. So 1 week after we released Swapper beta, we actually released version 2. And as far as I know, there's actually no proposal for it yet. I might be wrong. I'm not checking Alchemy.
For the latest, there is a proposal to update Swapper on.
There is, okay.
As of yesterday, yeah.
That's good. Perfect. So that update should fix the APY issues, fix some mobile issues we had. We haven't mobile optimized farming. We kind of wanted to release it without delaying it anymore. So there's some mobile fixing, just some bug fixes and improvements. And we're actually preparing another release where we're gonna do some additions to what's coming next, which is the Arbitrum launch and the Swapper token launch. So we are updating the navigation to support the new network switcher. We will have Swapper on DXdao, on mainnet, and on Arbitrum, and we want it to be pretty accessible to change networks directly in the UI. And yeah, I really like the new network switcher. We're testing it right now. It's a pretty big update compared to other stuff. So we need some testing on that before we release it. Other than that, we are obviously preparing the Swapper token, and with Swapper token, we're preparing what's coming. It's going to be an airdrop. At least this is what we're planning. We're right now doing the snapshot on some of the community airdrop or marketing airdrop, and yeah, just making the airdrop fair. With the snapshot we shows was 1st of June. This was when the list of the airdrop we shows was actually first time presented. We don't want people to game the airdrop and bot it or whatever. So we shows a date where we actually first time showed the list of the potential airdrops we're gonna do. So yeah, we're doing the snapshots and the numbers looks all right. We just need some adjustments on the numbers and other than that, we're actually doing the total tokenomics of Swapper, and there's some and not issues, but some just things we need to make clear, and it's a legacy issue DXdao has, and it is actually explaining how tokens work. So we there's nothing about the Swapper token that is it's not that complicated, but I think together with DXD we kind of wanna make it clear how DXD and Swapper can live together and why holding both makes sense. And so we're in the final stages here. I just had a meeting before this, so we can post a forum post as soon as possible, and yeah, make people start discussing this distribution. So yeah, that we have a lot of stuff. And obviously the Arbitrum launch. There's a lot of preparations from other squads helping out with the Arbitrum launch. DXvote is preparing for our for Arbitrum, and we need to do some test deployments and yeah, try it out.
Great. And there's actually been some, in the last couple of weeks, there's been some good community member feedback from some players in our ecosystem that have provided feedback and helping to contribute ideas around the token and distribution and things as well, which is cool to see.
It's really cool.
So next, we usually move to DXvote. Augusto's not here. I'm happy to give a brief update on it, but Augusto's been working hard. DXvote is, DXDAO's extension of our governance product that is quite important to DXDAO based on Arbitrum and eventually becoming maybe our main governance tool. And it's been being built for a while, and currently there's quite a bit of testing that's happening. It's been mainly happening on test nets, so Renka-B, Arbitrum testnet, and I think soon it will be on DXdao for use and testing as well. And it's being prepared and tweaked so that it can, and we're thinking about all of the things that this system will need to do in order to have an effective base on Arbitrum, so that any products that DXdao has on Arbitrum, DXvote will have the correct ability to govern and manage money and deploy capital on that chain for when it goes live. And so, yeah, the DXvote product's super cool because it also eliminates a lot of the dependencies, such as like the graph, which seems to go down a lot. And so having a lightweight governance system that DXdao can count on from a user interface is pretty cool. And so if anyone wants to test it or use it, and the community's been doing proposals on DXvote in tandem with proposals on Alchemy in some scenarios as well. So if anyone has any interest in DXvote, please come join the Keybase channels around that, and feel free to get involved and test and suggest improvements. There's a really cool, at the bottom, at the footer of DXvote, there's a link to feedback, bugs, and product feature suggestions that puts you, if you find that link, you enter like a GitHub process to make those suggestions and provide feedback or report any bugs. And it's a pretty cool process, I think, with a certain form and the fields that are needed. And I think something like that might be useful across all of DXDAO's products. So it's a cool way to get involved and provide your insights on what this product, the way it's moving, and how it could be formed and improved. So yeah, please come check out DXvote.
Can we
and then
stop using like Alchemy and use only DXvote? Is that possible?
I don't think it's possible today. Yeah, so like the DXDAO's main base is still like the wallet that is the DAO on mainnet that holds most of the treasury is itself, is its own wallet address. So I guess there would have to be some integration / migration.
So DXvote includes a couple new schemes, as well as a new front end that it is replacing Alchemy. So in theory, it would be possible to use it kind of across all chains and update all of our bases to this. But my thinking on that is that on mainnet, at least, it does change the security model a little bit, and I think we'd want to be very careful and gradual before making a transition like that. And my expectation, or hope at least, would be that we would probably make a transition to straight from the existing system on mainnet to governance 2.0. And so like the schemes that have been developed for DXvote may never get used on mainnet, but that we probably, we're planning already to use them on Arbitrum. DXdao may also happen. Now, in terms of the front end, there is, I think, already a read-only mode for mainnet. So once the front end matures and we feel good about using it, I think it is possible that it could replace Alchemy without a migration. Well, for now, but I think if we can get it into it's very early on and sort of in an alpha state.
Yeah.
So I think if it matures, then it could potentially even replace Alchemy on mainnet with more than just read, like completely, not just read only. But just to be clear, that would not involve like a migration of the treasury funds or the NS domains or like the core smart contract system. I think would stay in place, and as far as I see it, I think that's likely to stay in place until we do the big governance 2.0 migration. Any mainnet migration would involve like a very serious, set of actions. Basically, would be very involved, and I think we probably would only want to do it once, right? So I think that the goal would be to do it only with the upgrade to governance 2.0.
All right. Sounds good.
On mainnet though, like there are still some key differences, which maybe like DXD staking, for example, like that does not fit with the current smart contracts that Alchemy runs on, right? So
I'm not 100%. Don't quote me for sure on this, but I'm pretty sure that, or I think that we could use DXD staking on mainnet, like add that.
Yeah, I'm like also like fairly certain that that's the case. It's literally just it points to the token contract, so you can just replace the token contract and deploy. So it should be straightforward.
Interesting. Cool. The last product we have, which is a newish product that Federico has mainly been working on, is Carrot, which is a very simple conditional token platform that DXdao is building to solve and reach its ideas around conditional token and conditional token farming that we've been discussing for a while. Federico is not on the call. I think he's heads down working on it.
He's probably coding somewhere.
Yeah, he's currently building it, but it's a really interesting isolated platform that ties in really well with a lot of things DXdao wants to do, and it's actually a platform that it comes up in a lot of discussions with other projects and projects that might be using do-it-yourself farming and doing other things related to DXdao. This idea of Carrot eventually existing and allowing an easy way to create these tokens with a condition ties in really well with our suite of products. So we can get maybe an update from Federico in a couple weeks on that. But
I can talk a little bit about it too. Like, I mean, this comes out of the original idea, which I think Federico and some other folks were pushing early on, which is the conditional token farming. Yeah, like the idea of having farming in Swapper, but only paying out when certain conditions are met, like a certain goal is reached, etc. And then, so when Federico went and was looking at implementing that and kind of following through on those plans with Swapper, I think there was a realization that this could stand alone, and that there would be other interest from other projects in using it beyond just farming. And so he's kind of taking the lead on kind of standing up this MVP, and it's already looking pretty decent. It's a small smart contract that's already been audited. So I think the Swapper squad is quite busy at the moment with the Arbitrum and token plans. But after that, I think we can look forward to a Carrot launch in the not too distant future. That's all I got.
Next, we'll move to the other squads in DXdao. Chris, would you like to give a governance update for the interesting things that have been happening?
Yeah, just kind of thinking of the last 2 weeks. I think thinking first with the signal proposals. I think just under 2 weeks ago was when the Aqua signal proposal passed. So that was there, and then there were a couple other signal proposals. One for the Discord Q2 rep boost, and then also the Peter the Prediction Squirrel signal proposal, which I believe is still live. There were some also a lot of activity for buyback proposals over the last 2 weeks. We've kind of hit a nice consistency with getting those submitted, I think, on both XDAI and mainnet. So I think we're at 1,850 DXD acquired, which is at like 550,000 out of the million. I think there's actually one that may have just passed this morning. I haven't had time to check on that. But we are approaching the $1 million number, so we'll have to talk probably next week about that. Lots of other normal governance things, from a lot of different worker proposals to transfers to XDAI base, and then yesterday on the governance discussion, a pretty long call and discussion about Martin's worker proposal, an even longer thread, I think, and DAO talked about a lot of the context there. And so, there's a kind of a big thing that we were digesting yesterday and thinking about how to, solve the current situation and predicament, and then also thinking about how it moving forward and in what manner for doing that. So I think that's about it. I don't know if Dave is on the call. I think we finished the last treasury diversification at the end of within 2 weeks, and then I think Dave is working on the Q2 report now, which will be presented sometime soon.
Yeah, I'm here. Chris pretty much already gave my update as well, so pretty much heads down working on the Q2 report, which will likely give a presentation about next week on some of the calls, and this time also looking to put it in different formats. So I know last time, Chris, I think if you can mute yourself, a lot of people would be very grateful. So also trying to put the Q2 report in different formats, so maybe writing some blog posts about what we've done, as there's a lot of accounting and treasury management discussion going on as well in the greater DAO community, so to speak. So kind of want to be a presence there as well. And treasury diversification proposals have also been pretty much finished, number 2, and that will of course also be a part of the Q2 report. And I believe that's pretty much it from me.
Thanks, Dave. Is there one proposed name for the treasury accounting initiative for DXdao? Is called DX Purse. I don't think we have an official name, but maybe people can start thinking about something to call it.
Does that mean I have to walk around with the purse in Paris as well, so I'm recognizable as the?
That's fashionable, so I wouldn't say it's a bad idea.
It's an opportunity for some DXdao merch right there, some DXdao purses.
Yeah. Sweet. Next, DXBiz. Nylon, would you like to give an update from the calls?
Yeah, I'm just laughing at this DX purse. It's kind of funny. So over the last week, or last 2 weeks, the major things that we've had is more recently, we had idle finance come. That kind of comes into the whole treasury diversification discussion that we just had. And another interesting thing that happened like 2 weeks ago is HATS, which is essentially like decentralized, bounties. Like full disclosure, I'm a bit involved with the project, so that's that. I think we're talking to them right now about setting up essentially the committees, and I guess committee is a bad word, but setting up like that entire process. The first proposal is passed on the governance, and I think that's mostly it. We are also going to Paris, some of the people here, and we try to organize something around that. There is a discussion. 15 of us are going to Paris. Interesting. There's a discussion around sponsoring one of the side events, which would be great. I think that's it.
Yeah, they're a little more on the additional event. In addition to ECC, there is an event on the Friday called the Daoist, which is really a DAO focused event, probably one of the largest DAO focused events in the last couple of years. And DXdao is interested in supporting that. Well, there's a proposal. There will be a proposal to have DXdao support that initiative and also participate in that initiative. But it's a pretty open, decentrally organized event, and yeah, anyone that can, anyone from the DXdao community can come and join. It will be a lot of DAO talk. I'm sure there'll be lots of discussions around how different types of DAOs are building and interacting in the space. And so it'll be cool to see. And I think DXdao has the ability to continue to take a little bit of a leadership role in how like pretty like decentralized first DAOs are building and interacting in the space. So, and it's a good way to network and get DXDAO's name out as well. DX Ventures, there hasn't been, well, the last couple projects that have come across like the plate for DX Ventures might not necessarily seem to be like investments. There is ongoing discussions. A couple DXdao members joined a demo this morning from a team that's actually building a next generation governance system, which has a lot of interesting characteristics of it that actually seem to tie in quite well with what the ideas behind governance 2.0 are. And so there is ongoing discussions on whether or not this team that's building this product or this system, how if it could be leveraged for governance 2.0, and if there is an immediate like if it could lead to a big contribution to achieving governance 2.0, there is potentially incentive for DXdao to help fund in some way, whether it's investment or potentially grants, to move that to help that project progress and even have it build specifically for the needs of DXdao. And so that's quite interesting. You know, Gov 2.0 has been sitting around as an idea for a while now, but this is a potential step in the right direction of achieving it and making it come true. So we can keep people updated on that, but potentially some type of grant might be appropriate for helping achieve that. And at the same time, at ETHCC, DXdao is showing up and being represented. Like DX Ventures is actually showing up to represent this arm of DXdao, and it will be participating in the, like what they're calling like a ETH VC track. So there's a bunch of projects that are building interesting things in the space that will be presenting to a whole set of investment entities, and DX Ventures, along with traditional VCs and crypto VCs and some other DAOs in the space, will participate in that, and hopefully some ideas and opportunities come out of that side initiative that's happening at ECC. So that's pretty cool too. Next, we will move to the marketing communications squad, which may have a new name, not official yet. Potentially DX Voice, potentially DX Connect, maybe community feedback. Oh, sorry. Sorry if I stole your thunder, Keenan. But yeah, Keenan, okay. Would you like to give an update?
Yeah, thanks, Guy. Just starting with metrics, both DXdao and Swapper socials had their most successful month ever by a pretty considerable margin. Lots going on our socials, talking a lot more than we ever have before, so it's great to see. Omen's doing is fantastic as well. Obviously, they have a steeper hill to climb with the whole election scenario and the eyes that they got there. So that's the kind of challenge to overcome. For this kind of thing, I'm considering similar to our treasury reports, a kind of quarterly engagement report for our socials that'll kind of help us create our marketing strategy going forward. We've been preparing for the upcoming Arbitrum launch, which started with our co-marketing, which was a couple weeks ago now, which was a great success. We've been onboarding a design-focused contributor, Boris, who I believe John and Zet know a bit more about at this stage, who's planning to help with kind of collateral content for marketing. And as I understand, he'll be helping with the kind of front-end UI for a couple of our products as well. Obviously, we just pushed the June month in review. Take a look at that if you haven't already. We've been managing some product-specific campaigns, such as Swapper farming pools, Swapper eco-routing CTAs, DeFi Llama TVL co-marketing, Omen Euro 2020, and Copa America marketing, which have been going very well. Like Sky said, the communications and marketing squad is considering a formal name change to correspond with our upcoming fractalization. Considering DX Voice, DX Connect, not quite solidified on a name yet. And we're kind of doing this obviously because of the fractalization, but also because, communications and marketing and saying that every time is not very fun. Last couple of things here. The Q2 Discord rep boost, as Chris had mentioned, forum posts and signal proposal are up. If you don't know what that is, it's a governance gateway drug, as I like to call it. Lets us keep the door open to those most active in the community and getting them involved with our governance process. And this is kind of how we want to have community members come in, start contributing, and I think it's a great initiative. If you haven't voted or seen it yet, take a look. It's on DXdao now. And finally, like Sky already said, alongside the upcoming ECC, the DAOist has kind of sprung up from our friends Felipe and Luke. There's a draft proposal in DAO Talk now, and we're just kind of solving some payment logistics. And you can expect a proposal on DXdao within the day. Yeah, that's the big ticket stuff from our end. Thanks, Sky.
Thanks, Keenan. And last but not least, maybe sometimes we'll change this order, we have contributor experience update. Melanie, would you like to give an update?
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, hey everyone. The Contributor UX has been primarily focused on the worker compensation overhaul the past 2 weeks. The draft proposal has now spent a few weeks on the forum. We made a few additions to the overhaul and changes based on everyone's feedback. We will continue to make changes as we receive additional comments over the next few days. Our goal is to have a proposal on Alchemy by early next week. In addition to that, we've also been assisting with the onboarding of 2 new DXdao contributors. As Keenan mentioned, Boris, who on Keybase is Boris Block, who will be contributing to Swapper and Omen with UX and UI design. He has a proposal up on DAO Talk where you can see some of his previous work, which is pretty cool, so check it out. And the second contributor we've been assisting with onboarding, as Ross mentioned earlier, is Daniel. And on Keybase, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's spelled at DENCIU. And he'll be assisting with the smart contracts with Aqua. And I did want to mention and highlight an initiative that the Contributor UX has been working on and continues to work on since the formation of our squad. It's the initiative around contributor proposals and making sure they're created and submitted. The Contributor UX sends out regular alert messages to contributors of when upcoming proposals are due or if they're late. We also offer our guidance to new and existing contributors throughout this somewhat intimidating proposal process, whether it's in content creation or just aiding through the submission on Alchemy. But ultimately, it's up to the individual contributor to get your proposal done, completed, and submitted. But regardless of that, if you need help through this process, just reach out to myself or Ali, and we're happy to help you create your proposal. And that's it.
Thanks, Melanie. So that's the end of the agenda. If there's anything else people would like to talk about or bring up, please do so now.
Forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
Is that how you say that?
Otherwise, have a great rest of your Thursday, and tune in for the community call next Thursday on Discord.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
Thanks,
Cheers,
everyone.
guys.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.